Good evening and welcome to Beyond the White Noise VidCast. Again, this is the second to last show on Season 2. How the hell YouTube hasn't done us for any copyright infringement or legalities up to this point, I'm kind of believing they don't pay that much attention to us, so I'm kind of happy with that, to be fair. But yeah, tonight, before we go any further, I'll introduce who we've got on. Then I'm going to ask Kurt a few questions with regards to his sex life, and then we'll move on straight on to who we've got on. Right, we've got Karl Hassall on, that's Paranormal, and I've been dying to get him on for a very, very long time for one of many purposes. One is this: he's got this really ornate quality, which is called, I want to go and look at a place, so I'll just go and look at it. He's not one of those people who goes, I want to look at that place, I'll throw it on a bucket list. I bumped into him in an abandoned asylum. There's him for you. Literally just walked around the corner. I was like, are you Karl? He went, yeah. And I was like, we both managed to break into the same place. Hello. And it was,
hide that thought.
some stuff is surreal. Some stuff you just couldn't write. And that was one of those situations. Now, before I go any further, right, Karl? Right? Tell Kurt what you done that night whilst you were there.
Well, I thought it was a very pleasant night. You know, weather was cracking. Thought I'd crack them with a barbecue.
He opened the barbecue in the middle of the fucking asylum and had a barbecue.
On the 5th floor, I think it was in one of the sections.
Yeah, wasn't it in a room?
Yeah. On the 5th floor, but no one could get to it, and there was so many people that night. It was unbelievable, and I could just picture it from their perspective of all this smoke and just like shit just coming out the windows. Like,
everybody else was worried about this individual who patrols the area, trying to make sure that nobody destroys the place, and you were more worried about whether your burgers were cooked properly. That impresses me.
You brought a full. Karl, you brought a full barbecue into the building.
Yeah,
that is epic. That goes.
We had sausages. We had burgers. What else did we have? Chicken kebab sticks. We had pretty much the whole lot of like food, and we cooked it up on a filing cabinet on the top floor.
Was Mo there eating too? Mo, were you at the barbecue?
Yeah, literally, we had the full barbecue. We must have done about 10 minutes of investigating all night. And we was there for about 4 hours just cooking up.
Oh, dude, do you know that night we bumped in the same night that we bumped into Karl and the rest of his team? We also bumped into these two drunk fellas, and every time we turned the corner, they were there, but they were harmless. One of them jumped out and went, I can't remember what he said. He said something like, "What'd you do if I had a knife?" Oh, I'd still punch in the face. And it was like, he literally just went, "Good answer," and then just walked away. I was like, this is not an investigation no more. This is like a funhouse.
You know those two guys remind me of? Those two guys from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? The ones that are at the strip club? You know the guy that gets shot and it just cleans his hair right up the middle? The guy from Liverpool. Was he from Liverpool? Yeah. He's a scout.
Yeah, was that the girl with the guy with the short black hair?
Yeah. Oh, which one was the Scouse? One of them's a Scouse.
Both of them were. I just know that there's one of them is a tubby one, and the other one was skinny. But
one's become a hobo though. One's kind of a hobo right now.
Yeah. The skinnier of the two is he sort of went off the rails slightly, and he's been caught for some theft in Liverpool, shall we say?
Well, they were probably two locals that Guy Ritchie or whoever wanted. They got.
No, they were actually good. They were good actors. I think it's just drugs. Liverpool. It does that to you. It's a lovely place. But anyway, onwards and upwards. Before we go any further, Karl, with introducing your name, obviously trying to work out what the hell else you decide to get up to, because anybody else has a rule book. You just seem to do what the hell, and it works. It works brilliantly. So before we go any further, Kurt, I'm going to ask you the polite question. I'm going to see what your polite answer is. How was your week?
I actually got more work this weekend than I did last week, so I got a bigger paycheck coming in.
Yeah.
Other than that,
you got your toy?
Oh yeah. Now I'm got my new camera and all that. I got to still use that. I'm taking a smoking cessation class now. Basically, I get free nicotine patches, free gum. I got a counselor to help me quit smoking because after my last
smoking sensation.
It's cessation. Yeah, and
I thought it sounded like a strip club. Like a pole dance. Like a pole dance.
No. And it's
a smoking sensation.
No, it's actually it's interesting though, dude. I got a call today before the show from one of the ladies that runs it through the hospital, and I go, "What's it going to cost me?" You know, I was like, "Great, you know, it sounds free to me." And until they say, "Oh, well, you got to pay for the patches and stuff like that," so it's free. I'm getting patches. I'm getting more gum. That saves me money because a box of, if you go to the pharmacy, one of the millions of pharmacies, it costs like $49 just to get Nick gum and stuff like that. And plus, I get a counselor if I'm really stressing hard. You know, they'll call me up. Yeah, it's really weird, dude. But I said, yeah, why not? If it's going to get me to quit. Yeah, having firemen kicking down your door when you think you're blacking out is just not the way to go out in life. I learned a hard lesson, Carl, the other day. I'm asthmatic and I'm a smoker, and I couldn't breathe. I stopped breathing, like literally, and I was freaking out. And oh, God, dude, I don't know. And then Mo's talking to Mo. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm in the hospital again. So I've been in there a couple times talking to him. But
yeah. The one thing we tried to work out, though, when Kurt did decide to get him put himself in hospital, we were trying to work out whether the asthma attack was brought on and the fireman turned up, or whether the fireman turned up, then he had an asthma attack to excitement. we worked that out.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, dude. That was coming hard. But my question is, Mo got a new bed last night. Now, I want to know perfectly, Carl probably wants to know too, maybe not from Mo's side, but from the other side, did you break it in, dude? Did you break in the bed? Answer that question. Don't tell me you were too tired. You did not break in the bed. Now he's looking the other way.
Her parents may watch this one day. And yeah, of course I did.
All right.
Of course I did.
Good man. You answered nicely. I like that.
Clearly. It was funny. Her mother came over before and she was like, "So how's the new bed?" I went, "It's all right, but we managed to get a pair of handcuffs stuck to it and I can't find the keys." And her mum's going, "What?" Like, yeah. I don't know where I've left them. Has Brian got a pair? Being my father-in-law. And she wasn't happy with that. But anyway, that's about as paranormal as my life gets. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Right, well, anyway, enough about Kurt's fascination with firemen and my antics. Okay, you've broke it already.
No, I think it was just a fair question. It was a rated PG-13 question. Therefore, you know, and you gave a PG-13 answer. Now, if you said you were the one wearing the Cinderella outfit,
I'll put this show.
If you said you were the one wearing the Cinderella outfit, then I'd be like, all right, that's a little too much to know. Because that'd be scary. You know, I'd put thoughts that would scare me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever you dream about, I don't mind. Whatever you dream about, I'm happy with that.
Carl's like, what's going on?
Right? Carl's like, oh, shit. There goes the neighbourhood. Right, anywho, you have let yourself into something. I'm not going to even lie to you. Right, so nevertheless, my week, I'm going to be very brief with it, and then I'm going to move straight over to Karl, and we'll ask Karl about antics that he's been involved in. One of the antics I got involved in was Friday evening. We went to investigate in a location in Liverpool called Walton Hall. Amazing place. I love the building. It's weird. It's like... It's hard to explain. It's a building that's from the 1770s that's still standing. How it's standing is beyond me, stuck in the middle of our city. It's got a fake well, whether that makes any difference to anything. And to be fair, I had an absolute ball while I was there because I spent more time picking on the team members than anything. One of our guys went downstairs to make sure one of the CCTV cameras, he went to the cellars, by the way, and he went to make sure one of the CCTV cameras was aligned properly. And I said, take a walkie-talkie with you. I passed him it and turned the volume right up. And it has no bleep, no call sign on the talkies. I've turned that off for those times when you're in a place where you don't want people to know you're there. So he goes downstairs and he's creeping down. He walks over to the camera, and as he fixes the camera and goes to walk away, I got the walkie-talkie and went, Darren, was there anything else you can grab while you're there? And he absolutely wet himself. You see him on the camera. I've got the footage. It's on my DVR. I'll pull it off the DVR and I'll post it on YouTube and I'll put his name all over it. It's well worth a watch because he does this little skip. It's not even like he's like, he jumps on his back legs a little bit. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was messed up. And anyway, what made it weirder was we found out a group were going there the next day. And it turns out it was Karl. Just ironic. That's ironic as hell. It was, you couldn't have even planned that crap.
That's the thing is, that's
I don't know.
twice now, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've got this weird thing about turning up at the same place all the time. And not a gay way.
Mo had to throw not a gay way in there. Nobody was questioning his sexuality till he did that. Now, he brought that upon himself, and that worries me.
Damn. It's done now. It's too late. It's happened. But, right, well, first things first, Karl. For people who are not aware of you and what you do, you run a group called Dark Arts Paranormal. If I'm right in believing there's 4 of you? Or is it 3?
Yeah, there's 3 of us, like, properly. We do get tag-alongs here.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Everybody wants to come along and see what's going on until something happens, and then they panic and run.
Yeah.
It happens. But you guys have been running since 2011, was it?
Yeah. Thing is, we've not actually had the name or the organisation up, like, on the internet publicly very, very long. But I've been doing it for so many years now. Since when Mo Started first came about on TV. We was established around about the same, but it's only been recent until now that we thought, we might as well get something going, the YouTube channel going, you make a bit of money out of it as well. That'd be interesting, but more for the for the sheer fact of like sharing our experiences with everyone, and maybe converting some skeptics that are thinking, well, what if that's possible? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's been like the main aim for us, is to actually share everything with everyone else, and show them the crazy stuff that we've captured and the evidence. So it's been interesting, very, very interesting.
See, I've actually had the pleasure. Sorry, go on, Kate.
No, go ahead, Mo. Keep going.
No, do go. You cool?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Where in Manchester, basically? I mean, I know you go to Liverpool and stuff like that to do some investigations in different areas, but in Manchester, how watchers, where in Manchester has been like the best place for you to go? Whether it's paying to go in or you just walk by and you just get that look like, oh yeah, I own this. Yeah. Where in Manchester that you've been that you felt you got the best things out of it?
See, there's not actually many places in Manchester to investigate. I mean, there is, but it's just the sheer fact of finding them. Closest to Manchester we've done, I think, is in Preston, at a place called Whittingham Mental Asylum. It's been knocked down now. They're going to be building houses on there pretty soon. That for me that was my decision maker on the fact of like, well, there is something going down there, and it shows you that malevolent energies and all that lot does exist. The amount of times we've walked away from that place and the amount of evidence we've actually got, it's been unbelievable. Reviewing it on the night and thinking, bloody hell, it's been the first 5 minutes of being there, and we've already got certain things on either whether it's a dictaphone or on actual
What kind of okay? What kind of kit? I mean, what kind of kit do you like to bring? I mean, when you do go to an investigation, do you like to bring a lot of stuff? Because I know Mo, he'll show me a picture and I'll be like, no way, that's that. I'm just like in awe. But like, what do you guys like to bring a lot, or do you guys like to go light?
I suppose again it depends. I mean, I was working with a mini DV cam, mini DV tapes, and it starts getting awkward because you can't leave the camera running for a very long time. Plus, it's crap quality. I've actually upscaled now to a Canon XA10, It's absolutely fantastic, running on 50i. I can't remember what frame per second it is actually, but it's a fantastic camera. We've got dictaphones, spirit boxes, laser grids. They've actually using a pendulum crystal.
Yeah.
Some of them. We pretty much range time to time. All depends, when you're there. It depends on what you're thinking. We always do it straight off the cuff. We never plan anything. The only thing we plan is, we'll do the intro. Yeah, do the intro here. Let's do it. You know what I mean? That is literally it. And the outro. Everything else is off the cuff then.
Oh, okay. So. That's awesome, man.
Everything's pretty much the same as us, where you go with a plan.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
see the plan fall to crap 10-15 minutes in, and you're like, yeah.
It works. Planning does not ever work. I used to try planning it, not so much staging it, just for the sheer fact of, we'll do this, we'll do that there, and blah blah blah. But everything clashes. Everyone doesn't listen. You're trying to get your point over, they're trying to get their point over. It's just like this ain't working.
Well, I gotta admit, what you're saying is right, because Mo took a picture. He screenshotted me a picture one time, and while he was setting up everything, I'm watching the rest of his team and somebody's ass crack eat pizza. And I'm sitting there going, dude, not one of those people. They're sitting there staring in the camera with pizza half hanging, pizza here, drool here, and not helping set up anything. And I'm going, dude, I'd lose it after a while. I mean, when you go in, you want to get it out real quick and boom, get into it. Yeah. Sorry, Mo, that's that famous picture that you showed me.
Oh, no, narrow it down, dude. Narrow it down. No, but that's one thing we done on Friday night when we were at when we were at Molten Hall. We ordered the pizza to the place. That was impressive as hell. The guy came to the fence and we were like, kept the gate shut and went, Can you post it through sideways, please? And he's like, what are you doing in there? Like, filming. What are you filming for? Ourselves. Bye. And
yeah.
That's why not. But no, it's weird now. I know from in the past when I've spoke to you with regard to some of the investigations you've done, as I said a little bit earlier when I introduced you, you will think of going to a place and you'll just go. Yeah. Now, it's a rare quality for any investigator or any group to actually do that. Everybody wants to go to places. Everyone says, "Oh, I want to go here. I want to go there." We've made friends with a group called the Southern Ghost Society, who've just gone to Pavalia Island because guess what? They decided they wanted to go, and you're like, that's like a bucket list for some people. And they just went. The two brothers. They went, "Do you want to go? Let's go because we can." And it's the same as you say, well, I want to go and check this place out, and you go and do it. And as I said, as I went to say a little bit earlier, I've seen your footage. Your footage is brilliant. It's done properly, which is really good. And in the same breath as I said, it's done properly. It's raw, and it's the way it should be. It shouldn't be camera crews following you around. It shouldn't be well-groomed, muscly American Las Vegas heads who think that pulling up to an investigation in a Corvette means that you're really good at what you do. You've got to sometimes do it the proper way, and the proper way, unfortunately, is going in a place and having a look around, just poking into the dark to see what's there.
Yeah.
Now, again, where your style of investigating comes from, and obviously mine and Kate's style of investigating comes from, we watch from afar what the shows are actually doing, but try not to be as close to it as possible. But on the same question with regards to the shows, how do you feel with regards to the way shows are depicting what we do?
Be honest, dude. Straight honest.
One show in particular, which has just been aired a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Don't tell me you're going to bring up that.
I'm just not buying any of it. I'm really not buying any of it. I'm not buying into it, and I'm going to waste my time even watching it.
Yeah. You know what?
Go on, sorry.
Sorry, go on. No, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, the only thing, there's just no words for it. It's crap. That's as blunt as I can.
I'll take your polite word with regards to that.
Yeah. I'll get into detail about it.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, especially. It's weird when you see these shows and you think, right, okay, this is what people. watching a show is like looking at a leaflet to a holiday destination. It's like, that's what it must be like. And then it's like turning up and realising that, come on, it's a lot better the way we do it. And then you watch some of these shows and you think, right, okay, this is why people get into it. This is what people aim for. And this day and age, where investigators aren't just investigators, we all have some form of, same as what you, Carl, you got some form of editing capabilities and some form of looking at a piece of footage and thinking, no, that's not right. This isn't right. Maybe this has been misconstrued. And the second I heard Most Haunted were going to 30 East Drive, yeah, when I heard about that and I heard they were going there, I was thinking, of all the places they could go, what makes them want to go there? And then I thought, well, it must just be, why would you go and do a Most Haunted live event in a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom house? It's just such a small environment. They done, is it the Village of the Damned? They done that in Denby. Denby's a humongous building, group of buildings. And it's just, it made no sense. No. Other than a publicity stunt, maybe, I don't know. But it sort of ruins it for us. Now, I have to admit, you've been remarkably polite where Most Haunted are concerned. I'm impressed. I'm impressed you've managed to curb your tongue.
I'll have him break the internet with this one. All right. We're gonna try to break the internet. This is what we discussed. We got to go through with this plan. Your honest opinion, Carl, about Most Haunted, from the beginning when you first saw it to now, however old you are, probably a lot younger than I am. But what is your true feeling on Most Haunted? Don't hold back on this one.
Do you want it censored or uncensored? I'd say you want it.
I love the feel of. I like most like free. He's like
Yeah. Well,
take it where you want to.
When Most Night first came around, you know, it was something brand new because it's never been seen or done ever before on TV, and it was, you know, it's one of the things that's going to catch the crowd. It's like, oh my God, you know, this is completely different. Never mind Coronation Street or, you know, the other soaps. This was like the new thing. It comes to the point, you know, where I was actually buying the DVDs and even the live shows and, you know, following it quite regularly and watching it. And there's been certain sections, obviously, when I thought, nah, that's fake. That, you know, it's a bit crap. They could have made that a bit more legitimate or whatever. You know, but it's just been blown out of proportion now. Like, literally, you've seen it left, right, and centre. That it's clearly staged. Even when something does happen, they're not shocked. They don't look shocked. Because obviously, if our natural response is for being scared, you're going to start breaking your pants, you know, like, oh, what's going on, you know, panicking in shock. But they're like, what was it, the East Drive one? I was watching a bit of the clip, and we're all sat on the table, and there's, you know, the table's levitating 2 foot off the ground, and they're going, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. I'm not being funny, but if I was sat at the table and a table started going like that, I'd be either out of the room or sweating big time. Panicking.
Oh yeah.
Big time. But they don't even capture the angles. They don't even look under the table to see who's lifting it. There's not even lots of cameras properly. And even if they do have lots of cameras, they're not letting anyone see them. You know what I mean? It's just for themselves, and it's just like, well, what are you playing at? What are you trying to do? Because personally, for me, because I have a great passion for it, and you know, doing it is just like, you know, it's an ace thing for me to do. It's offensive. Yeah. It's actually offending me to watch them do that, and it's taking everyone for a ride. You know what I mean? Taking everyone for a mug.
And what you see then, though, Carl and Mo, when you think about this, is you see people coming on social media very feeble-minded. I love using this term. A lot of people out there are feeble-minded when they see something like that and they believe it because it's on TV, and that's what drives me up a wall. With this whole demonology BS that's out there. Yeah. I'm at the point now where I don't buy it one bit. Where did you get your degree in demonology? Where did you get your degree in going in a house and exercising a house? Well, Mo and I took care of that. We created our own university when we were underneath the old group, which I'm not going to give any advertisement for. And we created, actually, no, it might have been under ours. BTWN. It might have been.
It was. It was. I made certificates and everything.
Yeah, we created certificates we were sending out to everybody, claiming that you're now an official demonologist. I mean, we were just sending mass mail and stuff like that.
There was 3 questions. There was 3 questions to becoming a successful demonologist, and one of them was, "What was your name?" There you go. Question 2. What's the number between 1 and 3? And I think the third one was if you could, what colour is it? Sort of like, I don't know. It was a joke like what's brown and sticky or something like that. It was a stick. Something like that. I can't even remember, but that was enough to get you into demonology. But no, we need to be careful because I'm pretty sure we've got Bishop Long on in a couple of weeks' time. But that dude knows what he's talking about. Whereas some of these demonologists out there, unfortunately, haven't got a clue how to tie shoelaces.
No.
It's just something obviously what the shows are dragging forward.
Well, there's a new show in the States now on Destination America called Demon Files. And Mo and I'm watching it the other day. I'm like, all right, I got to check this out. It's an New York City cop that exorcises houses. I don't know. He's got his crew with him. And one of his crew, I'm going, hold on, I know that dude. You know, I know Mo, and I've had him on the show, and he's been on my show been on our show many times, plus other shows I've had that he was on. I'm like, what the hell's he doing on this show? And then all of a sudden I find out, according to the show, he's an empath now. And I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I go, thank God we had a falling out. That's all I can say. Thank God the falling out took place.
I'm not going to lie to you, we've sadly fell out with 1 or 2 people in our past escapades over the past few months. But more due to the fact that if something doesn't seem right, I am the first person to call bullshit on it. I've done it in the past. I've done it in the orphanage, Newsham orphanage over from where I live, where there's been table tipping going on, and I've looked under the table, as you said. I've looked at it, and in a room full of people at an event, and you can see them all, and I just seen the knuckles on someone's hand, and it looked a bit like there was pressure, and in a room full of people, all of them were staunch believers. I went, bullshit. That's bullshit. And it was only when I said it, my wife was standing next to me. One of our investigators was there with his partner, and I literally went, oh, I need to justify this now.
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
So I did. I justified it. But again, sometimes you have to just come out and say, if you think something's not right, you come out and you've got to do it the proper way. If you go through, go on.
Well, I was just going to ask you, Mo, real quick. Was that the investigation where you had like the little old ladies with head torches that were banging into each other and stuff like that?
They were amazing. They had head torches. They were in the 60s. They were from Anglesey. I'm not going to tell you what their paranormal investigation group name was, but I'm going to say if it was a paranormal investigation group at Anglesey at the beginning, that might give you a bit of an idea. And
I think I know exactly.
Oh, have you met them too? Have you?
Yep.
They had head torches, and they kept turning around to each other going like that.
I'll find out afterwards.
Yeah.
One of them would blind the other one, and then they'd turn around and blind me. And I had a Cree torch, a 300 lumen Cree torch, and I just covered it with my hand and went like that, and just shot it in the face and grabbed hold of it again, just blinded it. I was like, bitch. I was a big kid about it.
Yeah. No. Well, my girlfriend Sam, she was affiliated with obviously the only paranormal organisation in Anglesey.
Where is Anglesey at? Being an American, being in Yankee, where is it in proximity to you guys?
Say again, sorry.
It's the nutsack of Wales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not major far from Liverpool, is it? Let's face it. You know what I mean? It's not.
Thanks.
No.
Well played.
No, well,
so Sam was.
Yeah, Sam was affiliated with that group, and before, because they was asking to take on for investigators and be part of the team and a lot. And it actually came about that the owner of the company basically said, like, well, are you affiliated with Dark Arts Paranormal? And it's bad really, because the instant before it's like, we're a company and we're going to do them out of cash, and you actually put it's a conflict of interest. Not being funny, but if you've got an interest in something, you all help each other out. You don't segregate. You know what I mean? You don't segregate it. And So basically, she worked with them for quite a while, but it was only a couple of days ago now. They've turned around and said, we don't need you anymore. But they've not got the nuts to actually say something. Basically, we came to the conclusion. The conclusion was basically that we've been making massive moves on Dark Arts Paranormal. You know, we've got a new trailer for the YouTube. We've got loads of videos coming up all the time, and we're doing it proper. You know, as you could expect and stuff like that. They don't like it. They really don't like it, and they've turned around like, well, no, because you know, Dark Arts Paranormal, they go breaking into places and they do this and that. Well, I'm not being funny, but an abandoned building, if you're not breaking any boards off the windows or anything like that, you're technically not breaking into.
You're not doing any vandalism.
No,
exactly. I mean, and they're looking at the history. Let's be honest about it. I mean, you're there to investigate history.
Exactly, it's the heritage. As you know yourself, Morris, them mental sign, you just walk into it. There's no breaking in. The only thing you'd be breaking is your leg if you fall down an hole or something like that. You know what I mean? That's the only thing you'd be breaking.
To get into that place, you have to be over 3 foot tall. That's it. That's a little dip in the fence. 3 foot.
Seriously, but no, I find it quite shocking, really. There's been many times I've been on their organisations and I've thought, dog, absolutely, not even the dog's back wheels. You know what I mean? It eats the pits.
It's frustrating because some of these groups that are out there at the moment, there's a balance, right? There's what you do and there's what I do. Where I from the investigation side, I do not for the investigation side, it's never about money. It never has been. It never will be. I've spent far more than I will ever get back on equipment and on getting to places, and that's just the way it is, and I accept that, right? But these groups out there, they are trying their hardest to squeeze every penny out of people who want to see what it's like, but you'd never get a true investigation experience because all they do is they stand you in a circle, you bang a tambourine or whatever the hell you do, then you go through from there, and when you have a little look around with a seasoned investigator. Okay, that guy's just an event planner, and then you go from there, you move on to, you say you can go around and take photographs, and then there's you and 60 other people walking around this building.
Yeah, basically.
No. Whereas with the way you do it, and as I said, it's a bit of a gift that you've got. If you want to go and see a place, you skip a fence and you go and see it. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. You possibly at one point will break a law doing that, right? Oh, yeah. But nevertheless, that's a bucket list for some people. And do you know, most of the groups I've spoke to, most of the people I've spoke to, and especially a lot of the radio shows that me and Kurt have both been on in the past, have always said, well, we really don't condone doing that. We don't like to see people jumping fences. We don't like to say to people, do something illegal. I'm not telling nobody to do anything illegal. I'm going to tell you now, I've skipped fences in the past. I'm going to do it again. If it looks bad on me or on BTWN, then sorry about that. It's just something I do. It's just something that Kurt does. It's something that Karl does. We all do it. So I get to see places that the rest of the planet won't get to see. Same as you, Karl. You do it on a regular basis. You will get to see places people won't, and then they're the people who are jealous you've seen it quietly, but in the same breath are the first person to try and stigmatize you for it.
To tie into what you guys are saying, I find the most interesting people are urban explorers. I love sometimes going to a place, even if I don't have any kit with me. You go in, it's easy to get a camera. I mean, even if you got your cell camera, you're not looking for anything. You're just popping off shots. What it's like inside the building, you know, or inside somebody's old attic of a beat-up house by the Mississippi River. I mean, you're just popping off shots. I'm not there to investigate. I'm there to check it out. And sometimes, to me, that means a lot more with the history, to tie in the history, as Karl said, the heritage, and than anything else. Now, if I was going to do it properly, I'd get all my kit together, make sure it's organized, everything like that, get a couple people to go out with me, and, you know, but sometimes it just doesn't happen like that. And I'm not, and people are like, oh, we don't condone it, this and that. I'm not going to, first off, I'm not going to go, unless it was a friend, to investigate a house that's a private residence that they say is haunted. I'm setting myself up for a lawsuit in the States if I do that, and I'm not sure. So I just choose, and people are like, well, we have them sign a special paper that's, you know, I'm like, that still won't hold up in court if they want to sue you for kicking over Grandpa's ashes. You know, I mean, basically, that's the way I look at it. in a ring.
No, it's right. You are right in what you're saying. We're lucky where we are right now. Me and Carl, we're both very lucky because if the police ever catch us at a place we shouldn't be, it's up to the owners to say they want to press charges. And 90% of these buildings aren't British owned. The owners are probably over in the Far East or they're well out the way. So all that ever happens is they say don't come back. So you go round to the next entrance and then just come back in.
That's exactly what we do. Exactly.
Well, to give you an idea of how easy it is over here, the place that Carl investigated on Saturday and the place I investigated on Friday, which is the same place, the guy who owns that, or the guy who takes care of it, actually put a sign on the front door and saying, don't break in. If you want to investigate, if you want to come and see the place, call this number and I'll let you in. And that's to stop people breaking in and destroying the building, and do you know what? It's working. Other than the fact a few doors have to be crammed shut, but it works brilliantly. And I just wish that other people would do that. I wish some places would just open the doors. There's a million places in Liverpool and there's a million places in Manchester that people will want to go to. Same as over by UK. There's places everywhere people want to see, and the owners are just too stupid or too blind to pay attention to it. That orphanage, which is over the other side, they turned it into a rave, or into a clubbing event. Turned it up to a clubbing event on Halloween, and the building is. Sorry.
They do, don't they? They turn it into an exhibition as well, don't they?
It's been
quite a few times. They use it as an event.
It's been an airsoft event as well. They do zombie airsoft there. The place is getting slowly destroyed, and they're like, the owners don't give two short ones. I understand that. Come on, I know they're in it for one reason and one reason only. It's just to get the money in the pockets. But
that to me though is that's how some people say, well, I don't condone that. Me, for being a history geek, and this is how I make my money, how I make a living. I look at that as being of the utmost smack in the face to the town, to the city. I mean, you buy, let's say, Denby Asylum or Denby Orphanage or whatever it may be, asylum. You have that. It's your responsibility to keep that place up. Now, it's like having a slumlord. Do you want a slumlord to have a piece of history like that and just bury it? And I find that to be offensive, and that's just my take and all that. I mean, it's unfair.
You know the most frustrating part about that Denby Asylum? The guy who takes care of the place isn't even tasked to take care of the place. No. It's not his job. One thing I will say is, though, he's got a friend who's a survivalist. Have you seen this guy?
No.
He walks around with an automatic weapon. There's pictures of him on Google. There's blast holes in one of the rooms. He's put a charge on the wall and blasted the wall through. This guy's insane, and they just let him just skip around there with an assault rifle on his back.
What?
Honestly.
That's illegal, that, you know what I mean?
It is, but then again, in a place of that size, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could hide well.
You could disappear. Your body could disappear pretty quick.
He's not walking around shooting people. I think he's just hunting or just using it as somewhere to do survival training. But still, I seen the pictures when we were first getting ready to go and investigate the place. I seen the pictures. I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem. And the lead investigator at the time, Aaron, went to me, we'll just give it a go. And I was like, right, okay. I'll just watch out for the guy with the weapon. But it's silly. The wrong people are getting their hands on these places. And I mean, you were absolutely lucky to get all of Whittingham Asylum, because I don't think many people actually did get to investigate that place.
No, I mean, I was going there for quite some time, like over the years. I think the first time I went there was when I first passed my driving test when I was 16, 25 now. And we used to go there all the time, exploring. We was never searching for the paranormal stuff. And even like when we went urban exploring, paranormal stuff was happening. Even to my friends who didn't believe in it, you know what I mean? That's saying it all. But yeah, the Whittingham Asylum, that was pretty hard to get hold of that one actually. But yeah, just cracking it on.
Didn't you actually at one point get walked around by the demolition team?
Yeah, we what happened was, I don't think how it works out. I feel me and Sam went there, actually broke into it, as you like, if that's the way you want to put it.
Yeah.
And there was security all over it, and back catching people and all sorts of stuff because the impulses to put it down. We actually snuck in and did a bit of a military investigation, but we soon went out because it was crazy, like the stuff that was happening. And I ended up telling my cousin Brett, saying, we need to go here because it's really bad. We need to get some contacts going on. So he ended up ringing him and speaking to a guy called Les, I think it was. He was the main demolition manager, and we went down for the day investigation to go to different rooms and just get a feel of the place. Even though I already knew anyway, but they didn't know. So.
Yeah.
And we went back that night to actually do the investigation, and from there we, sorry, from that night we was going back pretty much every single weekend because we had site access then. Slowly but surely it was degrading, it's getting more demolished by the minute, and it comes to the point that it was only half a building left and we're still trying to get stuff out of it. But the last 4 investigations we did there, we didn't really get anything because all the residual energy was just decimated, it's gone. So that's all really.
It's a shame, isn't it? That must lend credence, like stone tape theory, where whatever it is attaches itself to surrounding materials as opposed to the location. And it's kind of interesting, as I said, you guys have, where Denby's concerned, you've actually gone to look at artifacts, haven't you? Or you managed to get you've seen some of the original way, like equipment. Did I see it on your page a couple of days ago?
No, that was basically what happened was I think it was like a bit of an do you mean up for Denby Mental Asylum?
Yes.
Yeah, well, basically what happened was I think it was like a bit of an opening day for the North, because it was originally called the North Wales Hospital, and there was an opening day there, and they had all the original artifacts and the stuff that they used in the hospital, and I seen it on a blog, and I thought, it's really interesting, that is seeing it what it was like then, and the stuff that they used back in the day, what it is now. It's mind blowing. So I thought, I might as well get that up on the page and share it about, because it's really interesting.
Makes sense. Sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was gonna. Carl, I apologize. Sometimes you talk, you on the air. It's funny. You're getting ready to say something to someone, and then your mind just has that mind fart. You're like, oh God, how am I gonna? I totally forgot what I was gonna say. But no, it's interesting what you were saying though about the artifacts that Mo brought up about you guys, and how you had that idea of like comparing and contrasting what it would be like now in a psych ward versus what it was like to be institutionalized back then. And a lot of times these people weren't even crazy. They were just thrown there as, we can't afford to feed the kid. The kid's nuts, throw him over there. Over here we have an asylum. I got busted at, I admit it. And and then I read a newspaper article about it. I'd say about 8 months later, I was doing research on it, and it talked about how rich people of Baltimore, Maryland, big city, it reminds me of Manchester. It's kind of that Manchester feel. The rich used to bring out the girls, used to adopt them, and then use them as basically slave labor. And they were called the slave girls of Rosewood Asylum. And then when they didn't want them anymore, they just throw them on the street. And there was this huge article on it. And I was like, wow. And I couldn't even get in one building. I was like,
that's because you're not a girl. Just saying that, like, to be clear.
Exactly.
Yeah. But nevertheless, I mean, again, you guys not only have just been up to pretty much what other teams kind of dream of doing, because I don't know, people seem to every team wants to be seen as whiter than white. Every team out there that I've came across so far, they want to be, we don't condone that, so we don't do that. And they're like very righteous. It's very, very self-righteous of them to be like that, because if you want to find evidence of something, you have to go and actively look, no matter where it takes you. If you have to sit in a library for 5-6 hours because nothing's on the internet, then you'll do it. Yeah. And it's up to you whether or not you're going to broadcast it. I've been looking at this for 5-6 hours or not. And some groups really care about that. And unfortunately, I don't. I'm not one of those people who will sit there and broadcast that I am doing this, I'm doing that, I'm up to this. I'd rather just if I've got to do something, do it. Now, again, if you walk into a location like you do and like I do, and Kurt, if you walk into a location, some of these groups are the first people to dive on you. But then again, they're the groups that you always seem to notice are trying the hardest to break television or to try and be the most noticeable people on the planet. Now, you, as I said, you've knocked together some really amazing footage. I've seen a lot of your footage, and I've seen one of you. I can't remember what location it was. You went down some stairs, and you just literally the video scene. It started. You walked in. You walked down some stairs, and you were all apprehensive about doing it. And I can't remember where it was. I can't remember the exact of it. But I watched it, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, right, if this was Ghost Adventures, I'd be like, right, there'll be sinister music in the background. And I'm like, shit, there's no sinister music in the background on this. This is, I can hear every creak. I don't like this. And then I start thinking to myself, I'm getting a bit, I'm thinking, if I was in that situation, I'd be slightly apprehensive about it, so I understood why you were the way you were. Now, other groups, again, as I said, that would have sinister music behind it, and it'd get misconstrued and destroyed. And again, I'll always say, I've got massive respect for you and your team for the way you do it, and the way you think, I just want to do it, I'll just go and do it, and screw what anybody else thinks. I think that's brilliant. And for that purpose, I'm going to always watch what you're up to. I always will, and all because, as I said, you do it right. It's not a case of doing it in the eyes of the public. It might not be right, but in the eyes of progression of the paranormal field, it's right. Yeah. It's the only way it's going to work, instead of doing stupid events like every couple of days. But nevertheless, right. So we know what you've been up to. What are you going? What's in plan? What's on its way? Go on then.
Because that's what I was waiting for.
We've got
like
coming to the section of like, you'll just go and do it. We are going to go do it, but we've got kind of an idea, what we want to do and where we want to go. But it's just a case of like, this weekend we could just go like, we go there. Yeah, go on then. All depends, like you said. It all depends. That's brilliant. If we've got money, it's all good. We can travel to places and stuff like that. We've just been to Walton. That was interesting. The next pipeline I think we've got is in a place called Penman Mall, and basically it's a pub, and basically a massacre took place in there, and I think it was in the 1970s or 1980s. 4 people got executed there in like a big pub. I don't know what was going on. I don't tend to read into much history about the places before actually, go into them. Yeah. So if I actually pick up on stuff and mention names or anything like that, and if I then go look back at the history, I can think, wow, bloody hell, you know what I mean? There must be psychics, what's going on?
Yeah. Going all Derek on you.
Yeah, go Derek Cora and all that lot. Just without the accent.
Oh yeah, thanks again. Thanks. Jesus. I can't help it. It's just the way I was born. We've got that one coming up. There's a place in Preston called the Miley Tunnel. I don't know much about it. All I know that it's apparently haunted. So fingers crossed it actually is haunted, and we do get some stuff. People have been claiming that they've seen like blue anomalies, grey matter kind of stuff floating around. So that's another one to do. Also, what else we got? Have you heard of Brogniddon Hall? I think it's like down South Wales way. Boddlewydden?
No, Brogniddon. It's near Wrexham.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we've got there coming up. We've got loads of places coming up. It's just a case of like, we need to wait for the right time and plan it out right, because it's a bloody pain. We've literally just come from Cardiff on Friday, and it's literally been a weekend of investigating. We drove down on crazy. Drove down on Friday.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
That's all right. We drove down on Friday. That's a long drive. Investigated a place called the Masonic Hall, I think it is. Yeah, Masonic Hall. Don't know much about that. I know that it was a previous church beforehand. And to be honest with you, we wasn't expecting anything at all. As soon as you walked into the building, you get that feel of like you can either get anxiety or you feel on edge and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
didn't get anything of that. Within the first about 15, 20 minutes of actually us three being left alone and doing a bit of an open circle, do some chakra opening. Straight away, it was like, oh, you know what, don't feel well here. There's something going on. You hear sounds going on. It's like, really heavy on the chest. That really was interesting because it actually showed that place that you can look at and walk into that doesn't feel haunted at all, can actually instantly just change like that. Or I suppose it all depends on how you interact with it, things like that. But yeah, that was quite interesting. And then it was a long drive back on Saturday daytime to Wilson Hall. But we actually did check out Brockhaven Hall and was going to go into it, but he had boarding on the window and I wasn't feeling up to it anyway, so we never went.
Yeah, no, I understand. But to be able to go from one to the other, that's decent. It's something that as a team, I know I'd like to do. I'd like to be able to go from one investigation straight onto another one. But obviously, with a little bit more sleep and a little bit more coffee than most people would ever decide to put behind it. But I think over here, it's something that I've said in the past to Kate, we are kind of blessed in Britain because, like for instance, the week after next I'm in York, and it's not for an investigation, it's not for anything other than it's just a trip away. But there's still the investigator in the back of my mind, there's still the, I'm going to take my cameras with me, I still want to just take something. You can't help doing. I mean, as I used to walk through Nugent Park every single day on the way to work. And I deliberately walk past the orphanage every day, and I've done it for like 7 years. And I'd always find myself stopping and taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I mean, it gets repetitive, to be fair, because like it was all I ever used to post up on Instagram was a picture of that place, a picture of something else. And now I've sort of changed locations, but working for the same group and the same company, sorry. And I miss that walk. I miss being able to go and just literally have the investigator in the back of my mind, being able to point a camera at a building as I walk past it. And I don't know, we are blessed over here, as I said, for some of the buildings we've got. Where Kurt is, I think an old building over there is 1920s, isn't it?
Yeah. I basically work in one of my jobs is to work in a museum. It's actually a house from 1815 that supposedly everybody comes in asking, I've heard of this place, I've read about it, it's haunted. I'm like, no, not really. I mean, it's just an old house that, yeah, I've had a few odd experiences, as I like to call it, but I don't say it's over the top haunted. I mean, yeah, they say there's apparitions and this and that, but I like the part. I like to be there alone because it freaks even my bosses out to go in the basement because the house has basement has archways and it's an old cellar, and I go in there. There's nothing that's going to get me here except the only thing that freaked me out was about a month ago, Mo, was it, when I told you that I walked in, turned off the alarm. Yeah, and some female voice called my name, and I'm like, it could be my curator doing work, so I didn't think anything of it. Walked around, went upstairs, walked around the house, went up to the attic, looked around the area up there, nothing. And I came down, I started thinking, I go, did I just hear that in my head, or did I hear that for real? And the way I look at it, I don't call it paranormal. I just unexplained. I can't explain it. And I try to stay away from the word paranormal because it's like the buzzword these days. I like to say, hey, it's unexplained, and just keep it at that. And it's just easier.
You do have to play it very careful, don't you? Because if you put too much into it, it gets, as I said, it gets misconstrued, doesn't it?
Yeah. It really does. Yeah. So I just make it easy, unexplained. I sent Mo a couple pictures like of the tombstone somebody took. I was filming. I was doing some stupid ass experience. So I gotta watch my mouth. I was doing some experiment where we were in a cemetery, and I really don't believe cemeteries are really haunted, but we were bored. As my girlfriend was saying one night, we were bored. We're like, well, let's hit the cemetery. Let's go to the freshest grave we could find. I'll put my not K2 meter, I sold that, my mel meter down with the alarm set, just out of curiosity, because I want to see temperature fluctuation. Because I knew I was getting no reading other than that. And she took a picture from behind me, and then I sent it to Mo, and Mo that was basically Mo's explanation was what? You couldn't explain it, or the depth of that?
For me, it was I couldn't find that. I couldn't say yes or no. I had to sit on the fence. It's the only time I ever sat on the fence with an image. To be fair, normally I'm the first person to go, nah, Paul.
Yeah, and it wasn't like trying to be fake. It was just a random shot, and we were like, wow, this is interesting because there was Mo ran it through both where there's depth, unexplained. Not a ghost of the person there, even though it was a fresh grave. It just was the way I look at it. It's just an unexplained incident, and that's the way it happens all the time. People don't realize it, but the way I look at it.
Yeah, you get a lot of people. Obviously, for yourself, you've been on organised events with other people who actually just trying to charge everyone on earth. For a couple of our investigations, and if you actually, all the people contained in that building at that time, they're all paranormal heads. They're not open-minded. They're not skeptic. They all believe in it. And as soon as there's a little bit of a noise or something in the background, it's like, oh my god, that's paranormal.
Yeah.
No, it's not, right? You're in an 1800-year-old building or whatever. You know what I mean? Falls Creek, Pikes Mead. Stuff happens all the time. But you know what I mean? I could be in my house right now and I can hear someone walking the stairs. Is it ghost? No, it's not. It could be the bloody stairs moving or something. You know what I mean? That's what really irritates me about these organised events and people who 100% believe in paranormal. You know what I mean? They're not. It's just too much. Oh, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. No, it's not a ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sadly, it's a redundant argument that we have, though, because the people who are there, it's not a case of, are they looking to see if anything's there? They desperately want something to be there, so every noise they hear, it's, what's that? What's this? What's this? It's not a case of, whereas we'll sit there and go, well, what was that tapping? Something I've done in Molten Hall, what's that tapping? There's an air vent in the other room, and I know for a fact it's tapping because it's the first thing they checked.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I was aware, and I said, fair enough, I know what it was, and whereas if I can guarantee it, if there was a group of people there, the first thing they would have done was, who's that? Yeah. Who's there? And they'd be like, that's when it starts to really burn your head out.
Yeah, amateur. Two amateur for that. They're all good, aren't they?
Yeah. Exactly. Do you know what? Right? I'm going to agree with you on that. It's amateur. It's all amateur. Definitely.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. I'm done with it, man. I'm literally done with it. It's like, what was it? One time, when we was at Denby Mental Asylum, we all, I'm not gonna lie, we all got caught by the police because Elwin was there. And we all got kicked out. Anyway, it's like, what are you doing here? It was like, we're just doing exploring, doing a bit of paranormal investigating. And it's like, ghosts don't exist, paranormal don't exist. But have you seen the ghost plane that flies around? Right, so wait a minute, you just told me that ghosts don't exist, but there's a ghost plane that flies around. Not to mention, there's an RAF base, not even 100 miles away from it, so all sorts of shit could be flying in and out. Hey, a ghost plane. Not
because obviously, like,
I think
it's amazing.
Go ahead, Mo.
No, I've got to say, it's just amazing how stupid people could actually be. I mean, I remember arguing with a gentleman on our YouTube channel, ironically, and the guy, I posted the video up, and it was like, well, what's your opinion? Or, so what do you guys think of this, right? And this guy posts, everyone else is saying, I don't know, it could be, it couldn't be, and this guy, he literally posted, dust, nothing more, next please, or something like that. So I went, can you be a little bit more specific? He went, ghosts don't exist. The paranormal's a farce, so it's obviously dust. I went, do you believe in science or religion? He went, I'm a heavy believer in both. And I went, so basically you believe in two of the wrongest followings you can do, but obviously the paranormal, which you can't explain, is a farce. I went, congratulations for being a heavy believer in a book that was written 400 years after an individual died by 33 people who never met him. You're a legend. Next, please. And I always remember, I ripped them to pieces. I'm like, I was that angry. I was like, fuck. I'll be polite about it. But I was very tense with this situation because I thought, you know what? No, you don't do that. I was livid. But again, smile and nod and move on is pretty much all you can do with stuff like that.
That's all you can do. I mean, as soon as you start showing any aggression or anything like that, yeah, well, you know what? That's it. You'll just gain any respect. You don't fucking show it. Excuse me, French. You don't show any profession at all. You know what I mean?
No.
It's a pain because you know what it's like, Morris. You just want to.
Yeah.
You want to crush the person.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing that has happened to us with regards to the police, which was kind of comical. A police and a biker, would you believe? We've been pulled by the police when we first started it, and he's so what he's up to. So I said, well, we're going out. I always say, I've got to be very careful about it. I always say, we're going out to do some shots. We do photography. We're going out to do some shots. And he went, okay, can I have a look at your camera equipment? So I was like, right, okay. And I was a bit apprehensive because it means getting me cameras out. And the next minute he's like, why have you got this? This is the policeman. Why have you got this? Why have you got that? Why have you got this? Why have you got that? And then he just sort of looked at it all and went, are you ghost hunting? I went, no, paranormal investigating is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, define the difference. I was like, well, I'm not hunting nothing because I haven't got a weapon. Secondly, I'm investigating, which means I'm passively looking for something. He went, oh, okay, fair enough. And then not 20 seconds later, this biker, he'd done a U-turn, and he came back and went, I seen you on your equipment. Where are you going? And it was like, it was so surreal. I thought the policeman was going to arrest us, then I thought the biker was going to try and jump us for our gear. And it just turned into this long-winded conversation with two guys about the paranormal. And it was not expected, not by any stretch of the imagination. And straight after, I thought, too surreal for my liking, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was weird, but I don't know. As I said, some people's perception, it's different than others. And do you know what? I'd rather deal with the people who want to pursue the same as what we pursue. I don't want to deal with the people who want to poo-poo constantly and want to, tell us that all we're doing is wasting our time, because those people are wasting more of their time typing out the message, trying to preach to me about why they are right when I don't care.
And when you think about it, when it comes down to it, for people like I think all of us, bottom line, it's a hobby. Yeah. It's not a profession. I can't go to school to get a parapsychology degree unless I go online and make one up. But
dude, you can't even go to school to do English.
I'm sorry?
You can't even go to school to do English.
Oh, I failed English in high school. Shocking, right? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, my teacher used to make me play the record, dude, because I was punk rock kid with the mohawk and.
No, it was because you don't. It's because you don't speak English.
I speak American.
You speak American.
No, I speak American. Yeah, but Canadian. Yeah, I'm glad I don't speak Canadian. So, but back to what I was saying is this. What the hell was I saying? Damn, that really.
You can't go to school to learn. You can't go to school to learn.
You SOB, you got me. I got.
No.
I got stumped on that one. No, you
Sorry
stumped
about
me.
that.
No, that was good. That was good.
But yeah, no, I do get what you mean. It's a frustrating place to be with regards to paranormal. You're sort of stuck. It's between a rock and a hard place. But again, we do the best with what we can. You can't do nothing more, nothing less than what we do, and just ignore the idiots if we can. We don't fight too many corners, Kurt.
Yeah, I tend to. I like to.
Yeah.
Next day, Mo wakes up and there's like 500 different threads going on, and all sorts of threads and pictures of people's houses. I learned that from somebody who's in Liverpool right now on how to screenshot a house and a car and stuff like that to say I'm going to be there soon, or I'll have my boys show up soon. Yeah, I know a gentleman who's shown me how to do that, and I do that. That's my last. That's like my last punch when I get nervous. I had a guy actually on Facebook the other day. This guy got a paranormal show. I'm not gonna say names, but actually apologized to me for a battle, for a huge fucking blowout we had in May. And I'm like, what? I did to him back. I go, what were we beefing about? What was the issue? I don't even remember. We've been in so many that I don't do it anymore. I stopped doing it because of the show. I really have gotten focused. Mo's going to start charging me to be my psychologist really soon. So that's.
Do you know what, right? We're going to have to come to a close very, very soon. But before we go, two things to point out. One, one of Kurt's battles that he had with somebody that we had to try and defuse was with Mark Constantino.
Oh,
Yeah, I apologize for that one.
No,
Yeah.
it's too late.
It was Mark, yeah. Well, they were charging. Here's what they were doing. And Mark Constantino, I don't care what people think of him. I mean, that guy did what he did to his wife. I mean, it's sick. But the thing about it was, he was trying to charge people on eBay to do an EVP session over Skype.
To learn EVP, wasn't it?
EVP over Skype.
Over
Yeah.
Skype.
To learn.
People, and that just fired me up because some girl in England who we knew, and I can't say any names or anything like that, set him up and did the highest bid, was the highest bidder and refused to pay. And it was like $400, so they did it again and they only got $100 out of it. But yeah, I had nothing to do with the bidding or anything. But I was so just like out of like angry, and it got diffused. I just let it be, you know. It just stopped. But there's a couple of people. There's one person on my radar that Mo's keeping me from right now. So, you know,
No.
so
I'll keep you updated with that one.
we're better
Right,
off.
so-
I'm better off not. Even though I want, I want this fight bad, but I'm not gonna let it happen. Not gonna happen.
No, you're gonna be good. Right,
I gotta be
well,
the
before we go, you've got a Facebook group which is
Yeah, Dark
Arts Paranormal.
Yep.
Your YouTube channel, we're going to link into the video.
Yep.
And also as well, have you got a website? Did you say?
I've not actually got a website at the moment now.
Don't worry. Well, what we'll do is we'll link your YouTube channel. We'll also link your Facebook page or your Facebook group to the video. But listen, Karl, amazing. I'm glad we got you on. Even though it was a bit of a wild tangent conversation, you are welcome back whenever you want. Just message me and say I'm coming on. I'll pick a time. I'll give you a slot, and you're welcome whenever. It's been great.
Yeah, it's unfortunate I couldn't be joined with Sam or Andy tonight because obviously they'd love to take part in it. But obviously next time we do one, hopefully I'll be with the rest of the crew. Like,
Brilliant.
get one down.
Definitely do. We'll make sure. So what we'll do is we'll give you the heads up in advance. All you need to do is message me and say, I'm coming on. I'll pick the next available slot, and then you're on, and you can just rag and rant on whoever you want, or if you've got something you want to bring.
We didn't do that tonight too bad. We have to do that. That's one thing we have to fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying? That's like that.
Yeah.
You know, fill in the blanks. Next show.
Oh, God, yes. Right. Well, Karl, thank you very much for coming on. Kurt, again, I'll see you next week for the last time. And just before we go, to let people know, just a massive thank you for people who do watch. You've got us to just under 2,500 subscribers for the show. We've got 1,256,000 minutes of footage watched so far. So for everybody who watches, from everyone who pays attention to our crap that we put out here, wow, you must have nothing better to do with your time. But thank you nevertheless.
Yeah, we'll be on live. We will be back live this Sunday,
Yes, we
5
will.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the States and 10 p.m. UK. We'll be live. So we got, we will be there, and join us then.
Yeah, Sam, and again, see you all next week. And Karl, see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.